Sterling, obviously, in tremendous form, really feeling it. I think I saw a statistic that he attempted 10 dribbles in that game, which is pretty much out of the
That's
score.
Messi's numbers.
That's, well, it's either Messi or it's a horrible footballer who thinks he's better than he is and keeps doing it over and over again. But there were other individuals where you realize, I don't know if Kyle Walker is bionic, because the way he's still sprinting in that way at the end of the game, his recovery speed is absolutely fearsome. He had one where Damsgaard went through, and it's like the guy takes 3 steps and catches him.
They're the fittest team, Gab. They've been the fittest team from the beginning, and for that they deserve credit. Southgate and his team to have got those players who, for most of them, have played 60, 65 games already this season. That fit, that strong physically, in terms of how much they run, how strong they are, how good they are in all the 50-50s, all the duels. It's good, and that suits them. That suits the way they play.
I think we saw evidence of that also. I think he waited until the 94th minute, or the 4th minute of the first period of extra time, which was actually like the 110th minute or something, because there was so much. I think that it was at 6 minutes at the end, at the 90th minute of injury time.
I mean, Grealish came on first, but
but I'm saying he waited to make his second substitutions, right? When was it Foden? Foden came on, and that really surprised me. Foden and Henderson, but then equally, I don't think England were struggling physically at all.
No,
like there was no reason. You couldn't really pinpoint. There were some players who weren't. Thought Rice was poor in that game, but there was no reason to change it physically.
No at all. Listen, as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Southgate. Good if he wins it, and if it took them that far, and he deserves some credit for it. I think the conservatism is. This reminds me too much of Deschamps, and it's a debate that has no winners and no end. But to take Grealish off the way he did, for me, it's not acceptable. You on top, you 2-1 up. The Danes they're gone. It's finished. They play with 10 men. They're on their knees already. Why the need of?
This is interesting. So you think this is a thing? Grealish's substitution.
Of course, it's tactical. There's no injuries.
No. But you think it is something we're talking about? It's because people have said like it's offensive to Grealish.
Why would you humiliate him that way? Why would you do that to him? And especially if you 2-1 up, you can see the other way. He's going to keep the ball so well that he's actually going to be an asset to England to keep the score 2-1 and keep the ball. And the Danes won't have the ball. They won't be able to put you under pressure. There's no need to bring Trippier on. What's that all about?
I'm assuming he brought Trippier on to cover his bases in case it came to penalties.
Exactly, that's my problem. But they won the game, so they would have won the game with Grealish. I just don't understand why you take off your number 10 when he's been on the pitch for 30 minutes, when you still have 25 minutes left in that game that you winning 2-1, and you're way on top. There's no need to do that. And I don't know, maybe Grealish is fine, but you could also see why Grealish would be really cross and not in the best mindset for the final on Sunday.
Well, he's not going to play him anyway, so
maybe,
but look, I don't know. Look, we can talk about
not
this.
Necessary, I thought.
Again, I go back to my Luis Enrique point. I have no trouble criticizing Southgate for things that I don't understand, or I think he does which are wrong, or don't work out. And I rarely had reason to criticize him for anything he's done as a person in terms of man management, because I think he's generally gotten all that right. I'm going to assume he knows something that we don't about the Grealish. Maybe he knows Grealish well enough to know he's going to take it that way. Because I could also throw it to you too. Who feels more humiliated? Grealish, who comes on, plays, and then comes off? Or Sancho, who sits there on the bench while he watches Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice and all these other players play?
Grealish, it's not a debate. Look, did you see Grealish's face on
the
bench? Or
Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's in the stands?
I think Grealish's face after he was taken off, 30 minutes after coming on, tells you the whole story. And maybe that's fine. They'll have a chat today, the day after the game, and clear the air or whatever. I just don't think it was necessary. That's all.
All right, maybe it's a shadow of Wembley behind me, but I'm not criticizing Gareth Southgate for that.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.